Alright, so the Padres just signed this guy, and I'm sure none of you guys have ever watched the actual game that he's played in. So this video will be about who this guy is, but more importantly, why Ha-Seung Kim means the Padres are getting Yu Darvish. Now I want to start off by looking at this one specific swing from Kim, and if we watch this, it looks like he gets jammed, but he still somehow manages to hit a home run on this pitch. So he clearly has at least a little bit of power if he's able to get jammed and still hit that ball over the wall. But I think in general, if you watch Kim's highlights, the overwhelming feeling that I get is that he seems like a little leaguer who's just too big for his age group, and he's just teeing off of people who are just far below him. His timing is right on. It seems like he's reading the ball right out of the pitcher's hand, and he just seems to be playing at another level compared to the rest of the players on the field. It's like that scene in Benchwarmers where like the adult pitcher bribes the umpire to let him play against youth kids. I guess that's kind of like a metaphor for Kim and the rest of the KBO. Now this is not a knock on the KBO. I love the KBO. I would love to work for the KBO. That's an elite league. But I think one thing to keep in mind is if you look at the velocity of these pitches, they're about 140 to 143 kilometers per hour. If we translate that into miles per hour, that's about 88 miles per hour. And these are fastballs. So my only question is, will Ha-Seung Kim look this good when these fastballs are 98 miles per hour instead of 88 miles per hour? Now clearly if we turn to the numbers look really good. But I'm sure these exact numbers will not translate over to the MLB. So how can we project him a little better? I think one very easy thing we can do is just compare him to someone else who played in the KBO and came to the major leagues. Maybe someone like Jung-Ho Kang. If you look at their stats in the KBO, pretty similar. So now let's look at how Jung-Ho Kang did in the MLB. In his first season, he was 28 years old and it was a pretty solid season. I think he was a pretty solid infielder. I think it was a good investment. But yeah, over the next couple years, he definitely struggled, and maybe that had to do with some off-the-field issues. Maybe he was just not in the right mental state. He did get a DUI. But yeah, I think that first season is a solid benchmark, and it proves that Korean hitters can succeed in the MLB. I think one thing to note that's different from Jung-Ho Kang and Ha-Seung Kim is that Kim is 3 years younger than Kang, and so just in the terms of age, Kim has more potential than Kang did when he first entered the MLB. Now we're at the point that everyone's interested in. Why am I connecting this to Yu Darvish? Well, the Padres are getting Yu Darvish. You heard it here first. I'm saying it with absolute confidence that the Padres are getting Yu Darvish. I don't know exactly what they're going to give up, but I think I have an idea. Now Kim plays in the infield, and the rumor was that he would play second base and Cronenworth would platoon or move to the outfield. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think that Cronenworth, along with Wil Myers and CJ Abrams, are going to go to the Cubs, and the Padres are going to get Yu Darvish in return. Now let me tell you why this makes sense. Preller is basically going all in, as seen by the Blake Snell trade that happened last night. He just signed a new infielder, so Cronenworth is dispensable, and I think Wil Myers is dispensable as well. They got that guy, Jorge Oña, that played in a couple games last season. He could fill in for Myers in the outfield. But I think what makes more sense is if you look at Myers' contract and compare that to Yu Darvish's. Myers makes $20 million per year up until 2023. Yu Darvish makes just under $20 million per year up until 2023. So these contracts are very easy to offset. So if we throw Wil Myers into the deal and we throw in Cronenworth, I still don't think that's enough to get Darvish. And so we probably have to give up arguably our best prospect in our farm system, CJ Abrams. And I'm going to tell you why this might make sense to AJ Preller. CJ Abrams plays shortstop. Who do the Padres have at shortstop? Fernando Tatis Jr. Tatis Jr. is not going anywhere. That means CJ Abrams can either move to third base or second base or someplace in the outfield. But again, we just got a new infielder. Manny Machado's at third base. It just doesn't seem likely that CJ Abrams is in the plans of the future of this organization. So if we throw him in, I think that's enough to get a Darvish deal done. Now, in my humble opinion, it's a terrible trade for the Padres. I think the Cubs win this trade by a mile. I just love Wil Myers. I have a very soft spot in my heart for him. And Cronenworth, man, he is a G. He balled out last season, and I think he got robbed of Rookie of the Year. And when you throw in Abrams, I just don't think we're getting enough. The thing I think about is our team better with Yu Darvish, but without Myers and Cronenworth? And I think the answer is no. Because, friendly reminder, the Padres bullpen is still not that good. So by giving up some of our offensive pieces, unless Darvish is pitching complete games, I don't know how much he'll exactly help the Padres. I think the question comes down to if you believe that 2021 is the year the Padres will win a World Series. If you do, this trade is a great trade. But in my humble opinion, I don't think it is. As much as I want it to be, I don't think it is. Let me know in the comments down below who you think the Padres should trade for Yu Darvish. Please don't kill me, Padres fans.